Today I'm doing my first layout for how to kill a kit with style. And if you watched my previous video, you saw that I had these papers in my kit, which are Prima. And they're so beautiful. And I've been practicing and trying out new things with mixed media. And I've been watching quite a few of Marilyn Rivera. Some of you might know her if you're familiarized with this type of mixed media. She's very, very talented, and I am going to do a really cool layout. I know some of you guys saw my kit, and you've been waiting patiently for me to do this. So here is my first layout. So I hope you guys like it. I'm using a couple papers from the paper pad, and I just backed my photo with a little bit of a light one, and I'm also using some inspiration from a layout that I found on Pinterest. Actually using these papers. So I am trying to build up the backing of my photo first because this is what they normally usually do. And I'm using some of my vintage distress oxide and my little tool to just do the edges of the papers with. And now I'm going to be using some of this paper as well that has these beautiful, they're like roses on here, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. All these papers are gorgeous. I just loved everything in this. But I only have the papers, so I'm kind of building from there. And there is a cut apart sheet in this booklet as well that I did use. You see them there, and I'm going to be stacking those behind my photo as well. So for now, I am just distressing the edges with my distress tool, and I am inking the edges with my vintage distress oxide. And then you're going to see me build up from there. Now, the reason why I did the photo first and everything and the backing of the photos is because I wanted to get my cluster of how I wanted all the papers to be behind. I don't know if I'm describing this right, so please, I apologize because I'm new at this, but I'm just kind of like backing my photo with these papers and kind of building up my photo with all these gorgeous things. And that little paper you see right there, it says Tales of Us, and I love that because the photo I'm documenting today is a photo of me, my oldest son, who is my biological son, and my two children, Zoe and Elijah, who we adopted years ago when they were babies. Zoe is now 6 years old, and Elijah is 5. So they were my very two first children that we adopted, and it was a special day. And we took a photo in front of my little palm tree that was in front of our house, and it was just perfect. So that is the photo that I am documenting. And I thought this would be a great photo to do with my very first layout like this. And this is my background paper now that I'm going to be using. And if you just look at it, it's already gorgeous. You don't have to do that much to it. But you know me, I'm going to get in there and get my hands a little dirty. So I'm using this stencil that I have, and I'm also using my Tattered Angels. And this one is a brown. It's antique, I think it's called, or something like that. I'm sorry. And it is Tattered Angels, and I got it at Tuesday morning. And all I'm doing is spraying it right on the stencil. And now you see it dried, and a lot of it's going to get covered up, but you're still going to see some of it. And that's really the only like painting spraying part that I did on this layout. I did not have to do too much. But I am going to go in with some other textures to put on the side of my photo on the left hand side. But first I'm going to take my cluster now with my photo on it, and I'm going to back that with some craft foam. And I want to pop my picture up now. I want it to look like it's up off the page and give it a little interest and dimension. And that's exactly where it's going to go. And now I'm going to come in with this. Now this little roll here that I got was in the ribbon section at Hobby Lobby. And I purchased it, and it has great texture, and it's perfect for something like this, to just give your page another something. I mean, it's just beautiful, and it's perfect to go with vintage photos or on a vintage layout. And this photo isn't necessarily vintage, but it's special, and I wanted to make sure I made my layout special. So now I'm going to go in with, and I got this at the dollar store. What it is it's a moss. It's just a layer of moss on top of some twine. And I am going to stick that on top of this, um, that, I guess you could call it ribbon, because it was in the ribbon section, but it's more like a twine, I would say, that's interluing and going this way and that way. And then I'm going to put my flowers on top of that. But that moss that you see, I am going to crush some of it up and just lay it so it doesn't look so squared, and so it looks a little bit more natural behind my flowers. So see, I'm just taking my fingers and I'm kind of breaking some pieces off, and then I'm just going to glue them down, because I didn't want it to have a perfect line. I wanted it to be like go around my flowers basically, and then my flowers I'm going to glue on top of it. Now the flowers that I have, some are Prima and some are that I got at Hobby Lobby. Some are Prima, and then the others are just Paper Studio. And they're really beautiful flowers. I absolutely love them. And I got them when they were on sale. And now I am going to see, I'm just like kind of gluing it down a little bit and making, and see how pretty that is. Look at that. I love it. And now I'm going to take that little piece that you saw me put down, flare button, that was from the Jen Hatfield collection, and the flower on it and everything was perfect. So I'm going to put that there by the flower in the right hand corner. And now I'm going to make this little banner in the corner, and I'm going to put this little antique metal flower with it, and make just a tiny cluster up here. I don't want too much, because I want all the focus to be on the picture and everything around the picture, all the beautifulness with the flowers and everything. So it's just a little cluster on the top just to give it a little something. And as you see in their layout that I am scrap lifting, they had like a little frame, but I went with the metal flower. And now I got these from Paper Studio as well. These are just little like crystal enamel dots. And now I'm going to use my antique Distress Oxide, and I just made the button, instead of it being so light brown color, I didn't want that. What I wanted it to be vintage looking, so I just colored it with my little tool. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use, this is just gesso, white gesso, and I'm going to do the edge of the petals of the flowers just to tone down the colors a little bit, because I didn't want the flowers to like overtake the actual photo. So this is kind of what I've watched them do in the videos, and they just tone it down just a little bit, and they just use their fingers and the paintbrush. And I just use this stiff brush that I have that works perfect for this type of thing. And I'm just toning down the flowers and making them look a little bit more vintage, and not so bright. And that's it for that. And I don't do much more to this layout. So this layout came together pretty quickly, and I just love the way it turned out, guys. And for my first one, I think I did a really good job. I am going to pat myself on the back. So I'm very proud of myself. And now I'm going to do 4 of them this month. I made a promise in my previous video. And the title that I am going to do is just love, because there's that subtitle, which is Tales of Us, which is above the photo. And it's just pure love. That's all it is. And not that's all it is, but it's a great thing. And now I decided to put this little tiny rose up there in my cluster as well. And now I'm just going to go in, of course, with some splatters. And that's it. So there's the layout, guys. I hope you like it. And I will have everyone's links down below that are also doing the How to Kill a Kit with Style. And I want to thank you all for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. Just hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. So I'll see you again next week with another layout, and I want to thank you all for watching. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.